Open three is good.
Shot pours a goal. Oh, Schwitzer.
Nice.
Huff shooting and scores.
Welcome to Sports Jam. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. This week's section championship highlights in baseball and lacrosse, plus state tennis and softball.
We'll meet a Hopkins softball standout who helped her team to stay in our Sports Jam spotlight.
We'll start with state track. While storms held off until the next day, day 2 of the meet Saturday featured hot, muggy, and windy conditions. The athletes ready to go at Hamlin. Good finish in the girls 4x800 relay as Edina's Tate Sweeney pulls away, followed by Lakeville North's Jada Woods and Wayzata freshman Caroline Sasson. It's even closer in the boys 4x800 as Bemidji's Cody Roeder battles with Wayzata's Anders Sonneson and Stillwater's Isaac Cron. Bemidji edges Wayzata for the win. Boys 4x200 relay, Hopkins' Joe Fonbele can't quite chase down Eastridge's Jordan Headley as the Royals lose by 0.10 of a second. The boys 800, Osseo's Corey Moody runs out of gas a bit down the stretch, opening the door for Eastridge's Marcus Hasking. Moody ends up in 3rd place. The boys 1600, Wayzata's Khalid Hussein runs the second half of the race with one shoe, but he still gives it a great effort trying to outkick Hopkins' Seth Eliason. Eliason, though, holds him off, winning a great race. To field events, and Ben Gross of Wayzata clears 6'7" in the high jump, and that puts Ben in 2nd place. Michaela Baker of Armstrong in the triple jump coming up unleashes her best leap of 38.11.5 to place 3rd, and her teammate Alexandria Hurst wins the shot put title. Eastridge ends Wayzata's string of boys titles. The Raptors win with 51 points, followed by Lakeville South and Wayzata. Hopkins ties for 4th, Maple Grove is 9th, and Osseo ties for 18th. St. Michael Albertville takes the girls' title with Farmington 2nd and North St. Paul 3rd. Armstrong is the top local team in 5th with Wayzata 11 and Osseo 29th.
Day 1 of the state meet featured less heat, less wind, and some strong performances by local athletes. Sunny day at Hamlin, and the 3,200 meters is the only running event that was a final on Friday. Maple Grove's Alex Miley led from pretty much start to finish. Crimson senior pulling away at the end to win by 11 seconds. Winning time 9 minutes, 10.82 seconds, including a 64-second final lap. To the field events, in the boys pole vault, where Maple Grove's Sean Schindler clears 13 feet 6 inches here. He places 4th overall in the event. Also a great day for Osseo 8th grader Nylam Jock. She sets a new personal record on the high jump by clearing 5 feet 8 inches. And that's the best of the day as Jock wins state. Here's what the 2 winners had to say after their events.
I mean, yesterday I was running around. My dad's like, last time preparing for a race, and it kind of hit me a little bit. I don't think graduating from high school has really hit me home yet, but it eventually will, and I'm going to miss the Minnesota State High School League and all it has to offer.
It feels really good. My goal wasn't to win, it was just to PR, and I'm really happy I did it this year so that I can improve.
Congratulations to them. Well, the state softball tournament is in the books. 3 local teams made it to the tournament, 2 of them in Class 4A. Maple Grove faced top seed Chanhassen in the quarterfinals. It's a great start for Maple Grove. Aaron Roll goes deep for a 2-run homer in the top of the 1st, and it's 2-0 Crimson. A couple of innings later, Ava Dueck follows Roll's feet here, tagging the pitch over the fence and left for a 2-run shot. Maple Grove shocks the Storm by getting out to a 4-0 lead. Down 4-1 though, Chanhassen comes back strong in the 5th. Jessica Bren tags a 2-run blast to right to bring the Storm to within a run at 4-3. Then with the game tied 4-4, Callie O'Keefe's up, and her pop-up is lost in the sun by shortstop Roll. 2-run score as Chanhassen takes the lead 6-4. They win 8-4. Maple Grove then beat Cottage Grove before losing to Buffalo in the consolation final. Also in the 4A quarterfinal, Section 6 champ Hopkins meets 2nd seed Anoka. Hopkins gets on the board as Mackenzie Merritt's hard bouncers off the glove of the shortstop, Evelyn Barzak. Heads home and scores for a 1-0 lead. Anoka responds with a pair of runs. Amber Elliott's ground single up the middle scores Caitlin Backman. The Tornadoes go up 2-1 after 1 inning. Hopkins scores in the fourth as Parker Stoddard drives the ball to the fence and right. It scores Natalie DenHartog to even things up at 2-2. An inning later in the fifth, though, Anoka's Leanna Nevin drives in a run for a 3-2 lead. Anoka goes on to beat Hopkins 5-3. The Royals also lost to Buffalo in consolation play. In Class 3A, Totino Grace made the state tournament for the first time in 6 years, and they had a slugfest in the opening round. Mike Solwald's team faced Big Lake in the quarterfinals. Marie Schupenetz's blooper drops in despite a good effort by the outfielder. It scores Aaron Pepping as Totino Grace grabs the lead in the bottom half of the first. Tied at 1 in the third inning, and Pepping launches a no-doubt blast for a solo home run. The Eagles retake the lead at 2-1. Big Lake has plenty of power as well. Taylor McLaughlin crushes this one for a solo shot on the top of the fifth, and the Hornets grab a 4-3 lead. But the Eagles answer in their half of the fifth. Schupenetz drives it to the fence to score Maddie Brunn with the tying run to make it a 4-4 ball game. It doesn't stay that way for long, though. Ella Ebensteiner launches a 2-run homer to make it 6-4. Grace wins it 6-5. They lost to Winona in the semis and then beat Mankato West for third place.
The Wayzata Trojans team qualified for the state Class AA boys tennis tournament. The unseeded Trojans met second-seeded Rochester Mayo in the quarterfinals. At second singles, it's Mayo's Charlie Bankston in the far court against Wayzata's John Foley. Foley, a couple of nice overhead shots before Bankston's return is long. Foley goes on to win his match 6-1, 6-love. At second doubles, Michael Deal and Max Liao of Wayzata receiving serve against Mayo's Nick Stan and Alex Lopez. Deal with a smash for a point. They win their match 6-2, 6-love. Wayzata also won a third and fourth singles. They won the match 4-3. Trojans, however, lost to East Ridge in the semifinals and then fell 4-3 to Mounds View.
The state tournament wrapped up with singles and doubles finals. Breck freshmen Matthew and Thomas met in the Class A doubles championship. They serve here in Blake's Ben Ingbar with a great return for the point for Ingbar and teammate Chris Hall. The teams have switched sides now. Off the Blake serve, they'll trade shots at the net. The Breck team wins this point with quick hands as they try to battle back late in the second set. It's a pretty good match, but Ingbar and Hall win 6-4, 6-4 to take the title. Armstrong's Nikita Snezhko placed third in AA singles. Benild's Tristan Felstead and Ryan Frost were third in AA doubles.
Time for our first break here on Sports Jam.
Straight ahead on the show, section baseball and lacrosse finals. Let's turn now to section baseball, where several local schools played for spots in the state tournament.
St. Michael Albertville beat Maple Grove in Section 8-4A, setting up a second game between the Knights and the Crimson in the double elimination tournament at Cold Spring. Highlights from Game 2. Bottom of the first, Charlie Horton rips a hit down the line, bringing Josh Tyler around for a run, and the Crimson lead 2-0 after 1. Bottom of the third, runners at first and third. MG pulls the double steal. Jake Hansen zips home and scores on the head-first slide for a 4-1 Crimson lead. Fourth inning, Jensen Erickson bloops a hit over the second baseman. This scores 2 and gives the Crimson a 7-1 lead. And then in the sixth inning, the Crimson blow it open. Erickson up. He shows bunt, then pulls it back and strokes the base hit, scoring Curtis Haugen for an 8-3 lead. Horton up, and then he crushes a shot to the center field fence. And this brings Erickson in to make it 9-3 Maple Grove. And they're not done in this inning. A chopper by Frank Volkers will get over the infield and score Jerome Gooley for an 11-3 Maple Grove lead. The Crimson go on to win the section title 11-5. Maple Grove is headed back to state.
After the second and third games of the season, we had a couple really tough games, and I knew the whole time that come late in the season, especially playoff time, that our coach would have us in our best form, and I knew that we would be able to put it together to make a run in the playoffs.
Maple Grove plays Forest Lake in the state quarterfinals Thursday at 3 o'clock at CCX Field in St. Paul.
Defending state class 4A baseball champion Wayzata had little trouble in the Section 6 tournament until the final round. Hopkins hoping to sweep a pair from Wayzata in that section final. The Royals get on the board with 3 in the third. Luke Poliak mines a single to center. Ben Wallin and Tommy Oth score, and it's 3-0 Hopkins. Wayzata comes right back though as Will Oberg's long drive to right center tips off the glove of right fielder Wyatt Nelson to score 3 runs. The Trojans go ahead on a sacrifice fly to lead 4-3 through 3. It stays that way until the top of the 7th. Hopkins erupts. Morgan Holmes with a ground rule double down the left field line for a 5-4 lead. It's 6-4 going to the bottom of the 7th. Wayzata ties it on a sac fly and bases loaded walk, and then Bobby Isbell delivers the game-winning hit, scoring Charles Engdahl as Wayzata repeats as section champ with a 7-6 win. They'll play Lake Conference rival Eden Prairie in the tournament opener Thursday morning at 10. We'll hear from the Trojans later in the show.
In Section 5, 4A, top-seeded Champlin Park faced Mounds View for the section title. Mustangs needed 2 wins. The Rebels just won when they met at CHS Field. Trailing 1-0 in the bottom of the first, Quinn Victoria at the plate. He drives it to the gap in left center field. That one will roll for a bit. Zach Loven will beat the throw home and score. Victoria ends up on third base, and it's 1-1 after 1. And then this settles into a pitcher's duel. After Max Loven pitched 8 great innings, Cole Albers pitches the 9th and 10th innings, striking out the side in the top of the 10th. And then the Rebels finally push across a run in the bottom of the 10th. The base is loaded, 1 out. Cal Hansen lifts a fly ball to center field. It's hit deep enough that Jack Snee can tag up from third and score. And that's the section winning run. Champlin Park back at state, 2-1 Rebels the final. They take on Woodbury in the last 4A quarterfinal game Thursday at 5:30.
Now to lacrosse, where unbeaten Maple Grove faced defending Section 8 champ Wayzata in the section title boys game at Park Center. First quarter, and Maple Grove's Brennan Davison sets up John Wells for the goal, and that ties the game up at 1 apiece. Later in the quarter, Dalton sees, shoots, and scores just before he goes down as the Trojans surge into the lead. Down 6-4 in the second quarter, Maple Grove's Hunter House sets up Carter Lysing for the quick shot and goal, pulling the Crimson to within 1. But Wayzata holds the lead, and they build on it in the second half. C scores 5 times as Wayzata knocks off top seed Maple Grove 11-5 to win the section title. At Osseo, the Osseo Park Center girls met top-seeded Maple Grove in the Section 8 final. OPC's Gabby Holton makes some nice moves on the way to the Crimson net to score, giving the Crocs a 1-0 lead just over a minute in. With the score 2-0, a nice pass by Abby By to Emily Herdine, who scores to get Maple Grove on the board. Paige Casibo was pretty well defended here, but she still battles her way toward the OPC net to score, putting the Crimson ahead 4-3. Chloe Corbin really accelerates toward the net as she scores in the final seconds of the first half. And this one will make it 9-3 Maple Grove. Early in the second half, OPC's Laura Denchfield makes a nice run to the net to score, but it's not enough as Maple Grove grabs the championship hardware, winning the Section 8 title 12-6. Beating the Crocs in the final made it even more special for the Crimson.
Oh, it was great. It's always great to play them because we kind of have like a little rivalry with them because we've grown up with them our entire lives and we went to the same schools when we were younger. So it was just really nice, and it was really nice because they were really great sports about it, and we're all friends at the end.
And Maple Grove will face second-seeded Prior Lake in the state quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Champlin Park's girls played in the Section 7 championship game. Rebels meeting top-seeded Blaine in the final. First half, and from the free position, it's junior attack Allie Kelly scoring, and it's 3-1 Rebels. A nice feed from behind the net then from Lauren Witt to Tara Dahlman for the shot and goal, and Champlin Park is up 4-1 on the Bengals. Nice passing late in the first half. Sam Nolan will finish with a great shot and scores, and Champlin Park up on Blaine 5-2 at halftime. But the second half is mostly Blaine. Ava Engler converts from the free position. Her goal ties the game at 5. And later it's Abby Jones looking to pass. She'll decide to keep it herself and rifles in a shot for a goal. The Bengals rally to win 10-8. They are headed to state for a second year in a row. Tough ending to the season for Maple Grove boys, OPC girls, and Champlain Park girls.
That's right, John. Also, the Breck girls lost to Blake in the Section 5 final, while the Benilde boys qualified for state with a win over Blake. Still to come here on Sports Jam, we'll meet a talented softball player from the class of 2018 who led her team back to the state tournament.
Hopkins softball team represented Section 6 in the Class 4A state tournament last week. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a talented junior who was a jewel on the Royals diamond. For a player who hit .500 this season and was a first-team All-Metro player, Natalie DenHartog is pretty humble about her personal success.
I think it's gone pretty well. I hope just in each opportunity I've done what I was supposed to do to help my team, and I mean, I always think I can do better, but I'm sure things could be worse also.
It's that team-first attitude and great ability that makes her what Mark Peterson calls a coach's dream.
Natalie is a gifted athlete and is very competitive. Obviously, she can generate a lot of bat speed with those quick hands and a lot of those fast twitch muscles. She's a good base runner, strong defensively, strong arm. You know, we'd call that a 5-tool player. You know, so she does well, and she's a competitor.
She's probably one of the best shortstops I've had behind me, and I've played with a lot of different teams, and she's definitely up there. I can count on her a lot of times with her bat and with her plays in the field, so she's a good teammate to have.
Natalie isn't a player to get cheated on her swings at the plate. DenHartog drives it out to right center field. It's off the base of the fence. The former baseball player generates great bat speed, something she worked on with her dad.
I remember when I was young and playing baseball, me and my dad took a break and said, look, we got to figure out a way where I can hit the ball over the outfielders' heads. And so that kind of developed my big leg kick, which is not seen as much in high school. And ever since then, I just try to pound it.
I'd like to take all the credit. That'd be nice. But no, she really works hard. What she has is a really good work ethic. And one thing that's really helped her with hitting for power this year is that she got into the weight room really hard through the winter time and got a lot stronger, and I think that transitions to better bat speed and balls going out pretty fast.
While she's a tremendous hitter, DenHartog can also field with the best of them at shortstop. So which does she enjoy most?
Whatever's going well that day, you know, and whatever. I mean, sometimes you don't get any balls at short and you just have to get your opportunities at the plate, and sometimes you get 10 balls at short and go 0 for at the plate, so it's just whatever you can do that day.
John DenHartog is the school's longtime head football coach, and Natalie is the youngest of his children to play sports at Hopkins, following JT in football, 5 years older than Natalie, and softball playing sister Haley, 3 years older.
It's a dream come true, you know. Anytime you get to kind of share moments, you know, both good and bad with your kids there on the sports field, it's just memories that last a lifetime. And my older kids, we still talk about it all the time, and Natalie, we're kind of in the middle of it, and it's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it. I
started out playing catch with JT and Haley when I was young, and then watching JT play baseball, I started out playing baseball, and then, you know, Haley started playing fast pitch softball, and I thought, I got to try that now. And so, I mean, they've always been there. They've always been my #1 fans, and me, their #1 fans, and so I really don't think I would be, you know, here if it wasn't for them. So.
Though only a junior, Natalie is already in her 5th year of varsity softball. 3 years ago, Natalie had the chance to play alongside Haley in the Hopkins outfield. Though Natalie says she's not sure how much Haley enjoyed that, it was a blast for her.
My 8th grade year, I got to play center field while Haley played left field, and that was like, I think I'll always remember that for the rest of my life, because who gets to play right next to their sister, and I got to have that experience, so.
With the high school season now over, Natalie returns this summer to her club team, Midwest Speed.
I was looking at my schedule yesterday. It looks like I have about 1 free weekend the rest of the summer until about August, but I'm definitely not complaining, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Natalie is verbally committed to playing softball at Augustana in Sioux Falls. Jay talks state baseball with the Wayzata Trojans next.
Welcome back to Sports Jam, and Wayzata baseball team headed back to the state tournament to defend their 4A title after a thriller over Hopkins here in the Section 6 championship. And we're joined by 3 of the guys that helped to get it done. And we'll start with catcher Tyler Young. Couple of big sacrifice flies. A thrilling game here, maybe more thrilling than what you guys were hoping for at the end, but how special was it to come back and surge into the lead and get the win there?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, we know that everybody in the lineup can do some damage, so we had a lot of confidence going into that last inning that we were going to score some runs, and obviously we didn't get the top of the seventh like we wanted it to, but we knew that if we rallied behind everybody, picked each other up, that good things were going to happen in the bottom.
I know some of the guys were on the team last year, maybe in smaller roles, and how special is it to go back with kind of a new group like this too?
Oh, it's really cool, and we do this a lot. We've always had kind of played with each other for 13, 14, better part of our lives, so we're all good buddies, and this is a really special group to kind of share this with.
Thanks for joining us. Have fun in that state tournament.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Danny Deis getting some things done, getting on base a number of times in the section championship. Talk about this team and how you guys came through in the end there, despite a little adversity in the seventh.
I don't know. We're just grinders. Everybody wants it so bad, and I don't know. It was just awesome to see people step up in positions that, I don't know. It was just great to see.
It was an interesting game. They scored those 3 in the third, and then you guys came right back with 4, and it kind of just stayed that way until the seventh, and then crazy inning in that last inning. But even when they got those runs, were you guys confident that you had a pretty good chance to come back on them like that?
Yeah, we knew we were in a good part of our order, and people were stepping up to the plate. So, I don't know. There were no doubts that I could tell. I wasn't doubting anybody at all.
I know when I talked to you guys at midseason, there's no doubt that outside people were thinking, this team maybe won't be quite as good as last year, but when you graduated so many people, and is it a nice feeling for you guys to show that, this class of 2017 is a pretty special one also?
Yeah, we've heard the same thing in the offseason, but we knew people would step up, and they did better than we could have expected.
Great job, Danny, and good luck in that state tournament as well.
Thank you.
And Bobby Isbell coming through with the most memorable hit of the season for Wayzata. I think there's no doubt about that. Talk about that at bat as you came up there.
We had been putting together a really good inning, and I knew I was going to get a pitch to hit, and I felt like I put a pretty good swing on it. Felt good coming off the bat, and from there it's kind of a blur. I don't know, just an unreal feeling.
You guys had your ace, Will, really rolling there, and did it surprise you at all that that they were able to come up with runs in the seventh, and did that hurt the momentum for you guys at all, or not really?
Well, I mean, Will's been pitching and hitting amazing for us all season, so like one guy stumbles a little bit, the rest of us pick us up. We're such a close group that there was never a doubt in my mind that we were going to win that game, so I was just happy we could help them out and pick up that win.
Even though you maybe would have liked to close it out, in a little bit easier fashion, do you think this kind of win kind of gives you a little extra momentum heading into the tournament too?
Oh, for sure. Obviously we're all jacked up right now, and we'll have a few days off before our first state tournament game, but I don't know, just the whole offseason, making state has been one of our biggest goals, and just to see it happen like this, it's obviously super exciting, and we can't wait. Three more games.
All right, Bobby, thanks for joining us. Go celebrate with all the Trojans fans there.
Thank you.
All right, Bobby Isbell getting the game-winning hit, section-winning hit to send Wayzata back to the state tournament as they win a thriller here over Hopkins in the Section 6 final. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam, but first it's a look at our plays of the week. Isbell swinging in, and it's a fair ball, and Wayzata wins it. Very well together. And there's the goal.
Time to celebrate Brooklyn Park at the annual Tater Days Festival from June 15th to the 17th. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under Cities and in the Community. It's a family favorite, music in Plymouth at the Hildy Performance Center on Wednesday, July 5th. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under Cities and in the Community.
And that'll do it for this week's show. Next week, the season finale. We'll see you then.